Stakeholders have called for a united African voice to promote continental unity, development and cultural pride as organizers prepare to host the 61st edition of the Africa Day celebration in Abuja from the 24th to the 27th of May 2025. This year's event, organized in collaboration with Jet Age and the Afro-Caribbean Chambers of Culture and Tourism, is set to take place in Abuja, aimed for a stronger and united Africa that will champion development, integration, cultural pride, and economic viability. Young Piero, founder of Jet Age, says key discussion will focus on continental unity, the vision of a borderless Africa, the discussion on the introduction of a single passport by 2030, and promoting seamless trade and cultural exchange.
We are prioritizing collaboration ahead of competition. So this is what Africa needs to bridge the gap. I tell you, one of the issues we have is the borders we have, and we're saying break the borders. And I can tell you categorically clear that 99% of African leaders are in touch with that, and we're working on that. And you'll see most of them talking on those issues. And I tell you, this is not just going to be talk. We have lots of young people sitting on the board, even with the new chairperson of the African Union. And you can see even the appointment of His Excellency President Asiwaju. You will see we have young people. It has never been like that. The Minister for Youth now is a young man. And I think the future of this continent lies on the shoulder of young people. Because now we tell our own stories. Now we put our culture out there because we're exporting culture. So from 24th to 27th of May, we will be hosting Africans. We're expecting 35 countries to be in Abuja from 23rd of May. And we are bringing speakers like the head of governance architecture of the African Union, the leading ladies of Africa. Their president is going to be here. We're bringing John Mahama. We're bringing a lot of them. Head of states are going to be here to celebrate this African Day. And it's something you must not miss because, you see, gone are those days where people tell us who we are. Now we know who we are. We want to celebrate our own originality, our culture. We want to instill in our people the African first, which is going to be our slogan for this all-important event. And with this, we will be able to pass on to generations to come, to know that we don't need to run away from Africa. Africa is where the treasure lies. And we are building Africa that will become a global powerhouse of the future. And with this, with the kind of speakers we are going to be bringing, that is coming, that is shortlisted to be in Abuja, they are going to be dealing with the subjects of Africa unity, borderless Africa, which we passed into laws a few years ago at the African Union, where we are going to be launching a single passport for Vision 2030. That has already been launched, but we are going to open that conversation again. And of course, the head of governance architecture will throw more light on that. And in 9 years from now, we'll have a single passport to move across Africa. We talked about the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement that has been signed into law since 2013. We are going to discuss that. We talked about seamless transaction in Africa. We are going to achieve that. We talked about cultural value, love among Africans. We are going to achieve that.
Honorable Quadri Audu Kende, President of Afro-Caribbean Chamber of Culture and Tourism, said one of the key focus will be on cultural values, bringing young Africans into leadership and building one voice for Africa that speaks to development and progress.
Because this is what our forefathers, our ancestors, fought for. This is 61 years ago that some people thought it twice, that African Union, the Organization of African Unity, should metamorphose to African Union. And these people came together as leaders of Africa and said, enough is enough. And this time around, we see young Africans coming together again to see that the effort of these forefathers is not in vain. And that is why you are seeing Jet Age, you are seeing Afro-Caribbean Chamber of Culture and Tourism and other organizations to say that once in a year, we must celebrate Africa. because Africa has done a lot for us. And that is why we are saying once in a year, 25th of May, we all should come together and celebrate our continent. And this year, a whole lot of programs and activities have been lined up. On 24th of May, a day before the event, we are going to have in the morning liberation walk. And when we say liberation walk is not to fight anybody, but to move around and say, well, that freedom, let us show it to the world that we are free as Africans. The time of slavery is gone, and this is the time that we need to move together. We need to work together, and that is the essence of the liberation walk in the morning. It's going to happen between 6:30 and 8 in the morning.
Chairman of the organizing committee, Phil Robert, emphasized patriotism as a key theme, describing it as a foundation for African transformation. He echoed that Africa's strength lies in the unity and love in the continent, viewing patriotism as the hallmark of the strength of Africa.
So we're using this year's African Day celebration to plead with you that it is time to love Africa. That is why we've chosen our hashtag and our slogan for this year's African Day celebration of Africa First. So this is the Africa that we want. A big thank you also to the African Union for partnering with JetAge. Of course, JetAge is a major partner in the African Union project. I want to say thank you all for making this year's Africa Day a big one. We're going to be celebrating culture. We're going to be exposing more about our tourism offering. We're going to be telling you more and showcasing our food. We're going to be showcasing our tradition. All of these unique values are the heritage and what makes Africa unique and different from other countries.
Will I call it mentality or whatever, that the women are not supposed to be where the men are talking. But with the new African that we are coming up with, I want to say that every woman has every right to be inclusive in whatever it is that has to do with Africa. Because whatever it is, I can't say what a man can do, a woman can do it better, but I can tell you that we females, we have the same power, we have the same right to do that, and we have that potential. Trust me, we, the women of Africa, we are stronger than you can imagine. And we are coming with our force, and we're saying this African Day 2025, which is African First, we are saying that as women, we are bringing Africa to the top. And Africa, you see today, and the next coming years, with the women coming along, we are going to be at the top, and we are going to get there.